Hey,
Hey
how are
Haley, how are
you?
you?
Doing well, doing well. It said that it wasn't gonna let you in, so I was like, oh God, please work. Want it to just not pop up for nothing.
Yeah.
So as people are rolling in, just update everybody. This is a check-in, super exciting stuff. I'm Haley Parker for PackTV, Florida broadcaster, and today I have Devin Halko from NC State Hockey. You guys have been into a lot of stuff lately, so I just like was really eager to talk to somebody because I just felt like we hadn't talked to anybody from hockey in a while. So very glad that you were able to join me today.
Yeah, no problem.
So I'll just jump right in. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about your like hockey background in general. So was hockey something that you played like growing up, or was it something that you just like found out that you liked in college?
Yeah, my dad played hockey when he was growing up. He played in college as well. Um, he played professionally for the Hurricanes when I was younger. So I was down here from the age of 2 on, and from pretty much birth, I was skating. Shortly after I was walking, I was able to skate, and I was playing hockey at a young age as well. So it's uncharacteristic for the area, especially back in the early 2000s. But yeah, I've been playing hockey practically my whole life.
Yeah, I talked to someone from women's hockey a couple weeks ago, and we were just talking about how it's not like a big thing in North Carolina, especially for like women's hockey too. So I've just always been curious because, yeah, it's not a big thing, but it's definitely becoming bigger, which is a very good thing for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I think it goes hand in hand with the Hurricanes. I mean,
Yeah.
with our team right now, I think you're seeing a lot of the guys who I play with now. We all started playing when we were younger, right when the Hurricanes had won the Cup in '06. So I think you're kind of seeing the growth during that time frame, and just the interest in the game. And so many kids started playing hockey around them that the age groups these past few years, and then in the next probably 2 or 3 are going to be strong with some pretty good players.
Absolutely. So next, I want to talk about some team stuff. So, what do you think has been y'all's biggest struggle as a team? Whether it's like having to not have tryouts or have tryouts, practicing, even like scheduling games with teams from other schools.
This first semester, it's been difficult for us. Obviously, we didn't know where we'd be at earlier on this year in 2020, if we'd be able to play games or even practice for that matter. We had just gotten done putting together that really nice new locker room, so it would have been a shame had we not been able to use it. But I think the hardest part has been probably scheduling those games. We've had a lot of teams that we pick up for a couple of weeks on our schedule in the second semester, and then they end up having to forfeit the games because their school won't let them play. So I think that's the hardest part, is just getting a tentative schedule, and even then that schedule doesn't stay the same for very long. So I think that's been the hardest part for us, is keeping stuff open for the second semester.
Yeah, and I'll talk about this a little bit later, but especially y'all are gonna have such a busy like fall semester
Yeah.
or spring, so like that'll just like come out of nowhere. But speaking of games that you have been able to have, I know that y'all had a very busy weekend last weekend where you traveled to Liberty, and you were able to play them in Coastal Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that y'all had played Liberty's D1 team a couple weeks ago, like a month ago or something. So what was it like being able to kind of like compare the D1 team to the D2 team, and like what do you think that y'all learned from both of those games?
Um, yeah. So that first D1 game, it was probably one of the best teams that the club team has already or has played in its history. So that was a big game for us. I think going from that D1 game to the D2 game, at any level of hockey, there's a huge difference in the level of speed. Um, each level higher you get, it's going to be a little bit faster, a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger. So I think that was very apparent going from the D1 game to the D2 game. It was the size and speed of the players. Um, to be honest with you, I thought we had a better showing against their D1 team than how we did against their D2 teams. So that was promising, and hopefully we can play them again. But and then I think if you saw the score of the Coastal game, you can see the first 2 games of that weekend were kind of a warm up for us, and then we had that league game there, so that was fun.
Yeah, I was gonna say Coastal Carolina is a brand new addition to the ACCHL D2 division. So what was it like, playing a brand new team that you hadn't played before? And it's also just exciting in general that more schools are adding hockey teams to their clubs in general too. So was it different? Was it weird? Was it exciting? How did you guys feel about playing them?
I think the team who had so they were playing in the ACCHL, but they were one of the D3 teams, and I think they had switched spots with Navy's team.
Okay.
So it was a good addition. It was kind of a warm welcome for them with how bad we'd beaten them. But I actually played them in high school, so they've been around for a little bit now. But I think they're starting to get some good players. Their coach has done a good job in trying to get some guys to come from up north and play for their school. So it was nice to have some guys closer to us, and that way we don't have to drive to Navy for some games. So it's nice for both teams.
Yeah, for sure. So those 3 games last weekend were the last of the semester. So as I mentioned, I took a look at y'all's spring schedule, and y'all are kicking off right in the beginning of January. So how will you guys prepare for a more intense spring semester, considering you only had 3, 4, 5 games to prepare for the semester?
Yeah, in the past we've always had December off, but now that we have most of November off too, it'll be interesting. I think just in staying conditioned, it's usually people don't usually think of games being like exercise or like conditioning to get you in shape, but I think though having consistent games more than anything is what gets you in shape the most, because 2 practices a week probably doesn't cut it on the ice.
Right.
And like you said, jumping into that next semester, I don't think we have a weekend off right now. And even the games that we don't have scheduled officially, we have ice time for, so we're hoping to fill them. So yeah, it's just a matter of staying in shape. And once we get into that second semester, it's gonna be a grind, that's for sure.
Yeah, you have some fans in the comments in case you haven't noticed.
Yeah, I see. Bringing them all in.
Go on. So, looking ahead, I was gonna ask kind of about y'all's goals, because last weekend after the second game against Liberty, I talked to Coach Hailey, and he was kind of saying how he felt like one of the major goals was how you guys were trying to kind of find your team identity, trying to work together, because like you said, there hasn't really been enough time. So do you see that as one of y'all's goals? Are there any other major goals that y'all have as a team?
Yeah, I think it's tough to find a team identity in only 3 or 4 games, especially with the varying levels of competition. I think once we get some consistency in that second semester and have games every weekend, it'll kind of change. And I think it's definitely helpful in trying to figure out where we are as a team, because a lot of other organizations aren't allowed to play right now. We're pretty lucky. But yeah, I think, yeah, sorry, I completely forgot about the question.
He's really blowing it up.
Yeah, Meddy's being a little goofball down there.
Anything you want to add, feel free. This is a safe hockey space. But yeah, whenever I talked to Coach Hailey, he said that I had mentioned how I thought that in between the first Liberty game and the second, I could see there's just a little bit maybe more confidence. And he said that he had definitely brought it up to you guys in between, that he was trying to voice that he wanted you guys to find a team identity and and all that. So just, I feel like that's also really important, but I know that's probably hard with everything going on. So
yeah, I think another thing that makes it difficult is the fact that we don't actually get to be around each other that often. Yeah. Usually in past years, we're together for, I gotta say, at least a quarter of the month. Maybe that's kicking it. But yeah, I think being around with each other so much, it's definitely helpful for the team. And I mean, it's more helping find an off-ice identity, but I think it helps in finding that on-ice identity too. And I think just the more we play together, especially with the younger guys, we'll be able to find out what kind of team we are, what works for us best in winning games. And from that, we'll just keep on growing.
Absolutely. Well, that is all that I had to bother with you today. So thank you so much for agreeing to come on and talk with me. So very, very appreciated. And I look forward to y'all's season in the spring. I love me some ice pack hockey. So
yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too.